Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy J-Hen, and I got a familiar face back with me again. We're doing a collaboration here.
My name is Fred from Life of Fred. Check out my YouTube channel. Link down below.
Check him out. His link is down below. And I'm J-Hen with J-Hen Travel and Services. Check me out because my link will be down below as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to share this video on both of our channels. So if you're watching it on my channel, check that description so you can look for the Life of Fred and find out more information about him. And
on my channel, do the same thing. Description for Johnny will be down below.
Check it out. And you can also check out Fred on a previous video that we've done together on my YouTube channel about his experience first time cruising on the Royal Caribbean. And what ship was that?
That was the Independence of the Sea.
Independence of the Seas. Check that video out, you guys, and hit that subscribe button on whatever channel you're watching it on right now. And then go check out the other person's channel and hit the subscribe button on that channel too. All right. So, Fred has gone someplace recently that I want to go. And y'all know I be traveling a lot. And I have not gone on a cruise off of the West Coast. And he was on the fun ship. So, Fred, tell us a little bit about your trip.
Well, we flew out to LA. And then, it was like the whole LAX experience was something totally new to me.
Okay.
Only because it was LAX is the largest airport in the United States right now. Okay. And then, just the whole baggage claim experience was something that I'm not used to. Usually you take your time, use the bathroom, maybe grab something to eat, maybe check out the little souvenirs in the airport, and then make your way down to the baggage claim. Well, we did all that, and then when we got down there, we still had to wait a whole hour before our bags came, and that was like totally new for us, and it was kind of stressful because they messed up a couple times. The first time when we first got down there, it was like, oh, your bag's gonna be on carousel 5. We get to 5, it's like, oh no, it's gonna be on carousel 6. So we get to carousel 6, only the priority bags come up, and then they're like, okay, now you're back on 5. So we go back to 5, and then they only send like a third of bags up, and we're like, okay, where are the rest of the bags? Then they send another third of bags up. We're like, okay, so are y'all just gonna play with us all day?
I hate that.
And so we was just about ready to go ask the employees, like, what's going on? Why is it taking so long? Why y'all only sending part of the bags up? When all of a sudden the rest of the bags came up, and we was like, okay, finally we can get out of here.
Okay.
And then LAX is also doing some renovations around the road around the terminal.
Okay.
So if you're catching an Uber out there, you cannot get the Uber at the gate at the baggage claim unless you are ordering the biggest Uber, which is I think Uber Black or Uber XL. Okay. Other than that, you have to get on the shuttle and then go over to the Uber lot, and then when you get to the Uber lot, then you request your Uber. So we kind of had a price shop because we checked the prices while we was waiting for the shuttle, and it was like $28. We're like, oh cool, that's nothing. So then we get over to the Uber lot and we requested, and it jumped from $28 to like $56. We're like, okay, wasn't expecting that, but let's go.
Oh, okay, so y'all just went ahead and did it.
Yeah, because it was still cheaper to do that than to catch a regular cab or something. So we went ahead and did it, and got to our hotel. Thankfully, our hotel, we got there early, so we got there about 2 o'clock. Most hotels don't allow you to check in until like 3:30. Okay. And the lady was like, your room is not clean, but let's see if we can find a clean room for you. Okay. Got us checked in, and we just chilled out and had a good night. Went to Walmart, got our me and Linda each got a case of soda, 12-pack of soda, because you can take a 12-pack. Each person in the cabin can take a 12-pack and a bottle of wine. Okay. But we only took the soda this time. We said next time maybe we'll do soda and wine. Okay.
When I think of LA, I don't think of like Walmarts. I think of the palm trees. All the lavish lifestyles. I don't think of Walmarts in LA. So you guys,
it was
made to Walmart.
Yeah, it was actually really interesting. Like you said, you see the palm trees or whatever. And as we driving down the highway, my mom and my stepdad, they like, oh, there's, naming off the different stores we have here. There's Boston store there, or not Boston store was local. There's Best Buy, there's Target, there's this, there's that. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, Mama, there's your favorite store. You want to go to Joanne Fabrics or whatever the store was? And she was like, no, son, I'm good. I'm like, okay, we can find you a Goodwill if you want it. Well, we had a good time, and like you said, we saw the palm trees, and my mom was so infatuated with the palm trees when she saw them for the first time there. She saw them before, but that was her first time there. Okay. And she was like, I gotta get a picture of the palm trees. I'm like, Mama, don't take a picture of that ugly palm tree. I'm like, it's better looking palm trees out here. And sure enough, as we were driving down the highway, she was like, yeah, you're right, son. These trees do look better. I'm like, don't take pictures of ugly trees. Not a palm tree that look like it's about to die.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it was good. And like I said, when you think LA, you think the extravagance of Beverly Hills and Melrose and Rodeo Drive and all of that. You don't think basic stuff like Walmart. So, yeah.
Or you just see the hood movies with no
Walmarts
around, liquor stores and corner stores and all that. Boys in the Hood and Friday.
Right. Yeah, but the Walmart that we went to, we was actually in Torrance, which is a suburb of LA.
Okay.
And that Walmart was much smaller than Walmarts we have here. So,
okay.
And I don't know if it was just because of the municipality it was in or the crowded it attracts or what, but it was much smaller. We was like really blown away by how small it was.
Okay.
But yeah, we chose Torrance. We chose a hotel out in Torrance simply because we're trying to be as close to the airport and the cruise port at the same time. We didn't want to because you don't want to. It's easy for you to just book any hotel, and then when you get there, you find out. This hotel, especially someplace like LA, you find out that it's way on the other side of where you need to go.
Yeah.
Now your Uber rate then jump from $20 to $120. You're like, oh, I wasn't planning for that.
Ubers are expensive. I know somebody that was in LA, well, my relatives, and they were like, said they was gonna use scooters for a little while because just going 3-4 blocks and 6-7 blocks, they said it's just the price is just crazy, outrageous to get Ubers out there where you might be coming from the Midwest or a smaller town. And maybe going across town for like $20, $10. You might be going a few miles for like, $20, $30.
Yeah, the airport to the hotel was about, if I remember correctly, it was about 5 miles.
Okay.
Well, I won't say 5 miles. It was a 25-minute ride.
Okay.
So that easily could be more than 5 miles. So and the traffic wasn't bad at all. And like I said, that was $46. From the hotel to the cruise port was about another 30-minute ride, and that was about $25.
Okay. And
then from the cruise port back to the airport, that one cost us the most. And I know the leaving the airport and going back to the airport cost the most because we were in areas that were surging at that point. Airports are always pretty much always surging, especially during the middle of the day. Yeah. If you at the airport early in the morning or really late at night, you probably won't hit a surge. Mm-hmm. But when we was getting off the cruise ship, obviously everybody. Oh yeah. You got 3,000 people coming off the cruise ship. Yeah. Everybody's requesting.
Yeah, that's the worst time ever. Yeah. You're like getting canceled. Mm-hmm. Then sometimes I know in Miami it's so hard. It's like it doesn't seem like there's a good enough signal because it's like you're looking on the app and it's not showing up or it's showing someone and then you're waiting. Then I know they got canceled. I had that happen this past December. It just was a mess. Took almost over an hour to get a Uber to Port Miami just because when you get off that ship and it's just so much craziness. Mm-hmm. If you want to get a taxi, the line for this regular taxis is just long as ever. And so you think I'm going to get an Uber and walk down on my own, and it's just crazy. Lyft, Uber, all those type of rides that require you to get on that app. It just gets ridiculous. Everybody's out there requesting them. But with all these things that could happen, from the luggage to the transportation, do you recommend like going a day early?
Definitely if you are if you in the LA area or the Miami area, I don't see a problem with you going the day of. Yeah. But definitely with us being in the Midwest, going out to LA, definitely go at least a day early. Yeah. Because it brings less stress. Because you have to be on the ship by a certain time. This cruise left a little bit later than most East Coast cruises. Okay. Most East Coast cruises leaving between 3:30 and 4:30. Yep. Where this one, we actually didn't set sail until 5:30. Okay. So, had we kept the same timeline and flown out the morning of, we would have been in LA around 2:30. So we would have still had more than enough time to just go straight from the airport to the cruise port. but at the same time, I didn't want to risk it.
Okay, now with that baggage situation,
Right.
You would have been cutting it close an hour.
Even with the baggage, with the baggage, we was out of the airport by 2:30. We was at the hotel by 2:30.
Oh, okay.
So, but still, I don't. It's just so much stress when you travel. Yeah. I'm sure you travel. You've traveled the day of your cruise, and even with that, even when you book the shuttle through the cruise line, it can be very stressful because you don't want them to leave you, even though you've already paid them your $30. So traveling the last 2 cruises I did, I traveled the day before, and to me it was way less stressful.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing. I've been going the day before or a few days before, because maybe like 6-7 years ago I actually missed the cruise ship because I woke up late leaving out of Milwaukee. I woke up late. My family still will not let me live that down. I woke up late, an hour past the time my flight was supposed to take off, and it was just ridiculous. Sped to the airport with relatives. We couldn't get on the flight. Thought we could drive to Chicago, get on a flight to Miami. There was just no flights. We couldn't get into Miami till late that night. And luckily, Carnival did put us on a cruise like the next day, but it was actually like a 5-day cruise. I was supposed to be on a 7-day cruise. And our other family, they went ahead and went on the 7-day without us. And at that time, I was in a relationship, so my girlfriend, she was out of town and met us there, and so she waited and got on the 5-day cruise with us. But I don't play around no more. Now I'm there like a day early, 2 days early. I'm camping out at somebody's house so I can get up in the morning. And in December, I actually did a crazy thing. We drove to Miami from Milwaukee, and we got to Miami that morning. But we were in Miami, I'd say, at least by 9-10 o'clock in the morning. So we had a lot of time to get on our ship. And then MSC, they don't, I think, leave until about 7 p.m. So they're the only cruise that leaves there's a late sailing out of Miami. So we were pretty much good for the day. We were on the ship, I'd say, at least by 12 o'clock, 12:30, we were on the ship and able to start chilling out and stuff like that. But so on that morning, and what's the port like in LA? So where's the port actually located at?
Carnival actually has 2 ports. They have Port LA, Port Los Angeles, and then they have Port Long Beach. This cruise was out of Port Long Beach. The Carnival Panorama one, the newest ship right now, is out of Port LA. So we were on Carnival Inspiration, which is one of the smallest ships in the fleet. And come to find out, after doing my research since I've been home, my first Carnival cruise, which was back in 2013, that was Carnival Imagination. Those 2 ships are in the same class. But when I walked on the Imagination 7 years ago, and maybe this is just my, because that was my first cruise, I didn't realize how small it was. And maybe because the Royal Caribbean ship I went on 2 years ago was much bigger. When I walked on the Inspiration this time, I literally stopped in my tracks. And my family was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Where's the rest of it?" I'm looking for this big grand atrium, this huge staircase, and I didn't get that.
Oh, wow.
And that's one of the first things that most cruisers look for when they walk on a ship they haven't been on before. They're like, okay, I'm looking for this big grand entrance, and it just wasn't there. And I was very underwhelmed. And my family was like, well, this is all their first cruise, so they all like, well, it still looks nice. I'm like, well, I'm disappointed, so I'm not gonna ruin y'all trip.
That's how it is.
Let me just go this way and get on the elevator.
Keep my thoughts to myself, so everybody else, they'll know. Then when they go on their next cruise and they find out they're on a bigger ship, they'll be like, wow, and we thought we were doing it on that ship. That is always the thing when you walk on that cruise ship. You just want to be blown away, especially if you've been on a few, and start to get a little picky. But
the whole process as far as getting on, and maybe it's just because it's been so long since my first Carnival cruise versus my last Carnival cruise, 2013 versus 2020, that's 7 years. A lot has changed in that time. So I may have went on this last cruise without current knowledge of what the boarding process is like in Miami. But to me, the boarding process between the 2 cruises was so different. When I went to Miami, they basically cattle herding you through these corrals. And then they take you upstairs, and then they cattle herding you through some more corrals, and then you get to the desk, you pull out all your paperwork, you take your picture, they print your card, Then you go around the corner, they take the picture for you to get on, and you swipe in your card every 5 feet pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, out on the West Coast, and like I said, it may be different now on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, it was nothing like that. So now when you book through Carnival, they have you pick a boarding time. Mm-hmm. So we picked the 12:30 boarding time.
Okay.
And they send you an email like the day before, tomorrow, don't arrive too early or don't arrive too late, because then you might be waiting longer. So we kind of procrastinated around the hotel that morning, thinking that we didn't want to be there too early, and we still ended up getting there around 12 o'clock. Okay. Because the 20-minute ride that was supposed to be there only took like 15 minutes. And so we were like, okay, well, we even still stopped outside the terminal. I had some emails from work that came through that I needed to address. I was like, let me reply to these, because once I get on the ship, I'm turning my phone on Do Not Disturb, because almost every cruiser can testify to having roaming charges from receiving data while on the ship if you don't have the data plan for the ship. So, and having been in customer service for 10 years with a cell phone company, I've had to take those phone calls, and you may have only had it on for 5 minutes, but you get a $200 bill. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want that experience personally, so I was like, let me make sure I turn this off.
The worst.
Right.
And I got Sprint worldwide, so I can pretty much use my phone in any other countries I go to. But about 2 years ago, my mom was in her room talking on her phone. We were in port somewhere, and because she was still on the cruise ship and was on the balcony talking, some kind of way it went to the ship's tower and not to the port, the country that we were in, and Sprint charged us probably almost $400. I mean, she was having the best of conversation.
Yeah, because
and I was like, what was you doing in your room? We got back home, and I'm like, that's probably the time. And when I called Sprint, they said she was on the ship's tower and wasn't off the ship. And had she would have been off the ship and away, she wouldn't have got charged all those charges. Because
your phone is designed to pick up the closest tower to it. So if you on a ship still, it's going to pick up the ship tower. Even if you within 5 miles of the ship, it can pick up the ship's tower. Because I've had callers that was like, I was just in Miami, near looking at the ships. I didn't actually get on a ship. But if you went within 5 miles of that ship, and that was the closest tower to you, your phone's gonna pick that up before it picks up anything else.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why I wait till I get off the ship, unless I'm just sure that I'm on my network's tower still and things like that. So you got on the ship. What were some of the things that were on the ship? Did it have the normal Carnival restaurants and shops? And
but let me go back to the boarding process first. Okay. So like I said, we got there at 12 o'clock. So we was thinking that we had to wait in a half hour. We was like, okay, well, we're going to have to wait. So let's just take our time. So we let a bunch of people run past us. They all went through the crowd. When you get to the door, they have 3 lines. They have early, late, they have priority, and then they have on time. So since we were early, they had us go through the early, late line. And when we actually got to the door, there was actually nobody in any of the lines. But we still thought that they were putting us in the early, late line, making us wait for our boarding time. But no, as soon as we got there, as soon as an agent freed up, they called us over, they checked out our documents, they stamped the boarding pass, and then they took our picture right there.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, and I'm telling my sister, I'm like, okay, well, don't put your documents away, because we still got to go over there to the guest services desk, and that's where they're going to print our cards at and stuff. And the guy was like, once he finished looking at all the documents, he's like, nope, you can put the documents away, you guys are good. You just need the boarding pass, go through security, and you're good. You can go get on the ship. We're like,
yeah, they're getting a lot faster.
Right. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, that's way different than Miami. And he was like, yep, we're different than Miami out here. I was like, okay. Yeah. The only thing that held us up was that that Linda and my stepdad, Anthony, they didn't use a debit or credit card for their sign and sell account, where me and my mom did. So we had already set ours up before we got there. Okay. So since they use cash, we had to go to the desk and pay, so they can turn in their cash or whatever. Okay. But my stepdad, he's one of the people that is like real cheap. Mm-hmm. So even though we explained it to him 50,000 times before we left why he need cash, he still didn't understand. So they had to explain it to him some more. Okay. But they have you go upstairs and go through all the different ramps and stuff and get on the ship. But before you get on the ship, just like in Miami, they take the picture of you. Mm-hmm. But what they're doing different now than my experience out in Miami was, Miami just pretty much had the Carnival backdrop. Yeah. Where out in LA, they had a green screen. Oh, okay. So they had a green screen. We stood there, but they kind of rushed us. So we didn't get to pose the way we wanted to. It was more like we all just had our bags like kind of like jump in front of the green screen, and we like, so when we got on ship and looked at the pictures, we loved that they had like 4 different backgrounds for us to choose from, but we didn't like how we looked in none of the pictures because we didn't get to sit our stuff down and relax a little bit. So we didn't buy those. And then when we started going up that last little stretch between the building and the ship, you know, they had a nice little backdrop of the ship. Well, it was the actual ship, not a backdrop. Okay. But they had a little rail there that you can stop and pose and take pictures in front of.
Oh, as well? Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so we did that. And then at that point, they actually had 2 photographers there. One was taking the full picture, the full frame picture, where another one was pretty much just getting your facial expressions. Okay. And so that one was more zoomed in on you. So the photography wise, it was a much better experience. Okay. But then, like you said, when we got on the ship, pretty much what I'm noticing is that Carnival, throughout all their ships, they have venues that all have the same name. The Alchalon Bar, the Valin Bar, the club might have a different name. Yeah. But then, you know, they always have the Lido Buffet.
Alchemy, they have the Alchemy Bar.
Yeah, Alchemy.
What about Piano Bar?
They have the Piano Bar, Violin Bar. Then they always have a casino, and I think this one was called the Mighty Rocks Casino. Or something.
Okay. Guy's Burger?
Guys was there. Blue Iguana was there. Okay. One good thing I did like about the pizza is that the pizza was open 24 hours. Yeah. Where some ships, I know Royal Caribbean, that pizza joint was open 24 hours as well. But I think my first ship, it closed like 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that pizza, the lines be wrapped around the corner.
But they get kind of lazy with the pizza when the lines get long. Like the toppings don't be spread all the way out. Like more crust than pizza. Like, dude, you take your time with mine. Yeah. But when an employee come up, they make any kind of pizza an employee wants.
Oh yeah, yeah. So when you get on the ship, are you one of those people that run straight to Guy's Burger Bar, or?
I did not. Okay. I did not. I had heard about. You know, I watch other YouTubers that do a lot of cruising, and I had seen their experience where Guy's Burgers, at least the first day.
Yeah, that's what most people are saying.
The line is super long, and I was like, I don't feel like dealing with all that, so I just went to the regular buffet, and we had a nice selection of food. I tried a little bit of everything. My stepdad, he's a foodie. Okay. He don't care what it is, he gonna eat it.
Eat it. Okay.
And he was one of the people that was. And as we prepared for this cruise, he was like, I'm giving me some mussels, I'm giving me some crab. He thought for sure he was going to get, because it was a cruise, he thought for sure he was going to get every form of seafood there was. I'm like, Aunt, you're not going to get all that. Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you. He was like, no, I promise you I'm going to get all that. I was like, would you listen to the person that has cruised before? Yeah. I can tell you that they don't have all that stuff on the ship, and if they do, it's a premium charge. He was like, oh. Okay. And then when we got on the ship, he's still looking for it.
Yeah. Did you guys go to the main dining?
Yeah, we did go to the main dining, and that's when I told him, I was like, okay, now if you want your lobster and your shrimp,
swordfish and escargot,
and all that, you can have it here.
Did he have it in there?
Yeah, they had it in there.
Escargot? Did he eat some escargot?
No, he didn't. He actually didn't order any seafood because I showed him on the menu. I was like, if you want that, now's the time to get it, but this is what you're gonna pay for it. Yeah. And he was like, no, that's okay. I'll just have this. Oh, okay. But one thing I forgot, you know, I call myself trying to do a good job of schooling them on everything about cruise life. But one thing I forgot to tell them is that the portion sizes in the main dining room are much smaller. Yeah. But the thing is, you can order 2 or 3 entrees or 2 or 3 appetizers, whatever you want. Even after they take the menu away, if you want something else, you don't have to get out that seat until you're ready. It's still all you can eat. So you want something else, just have them bring the menu back and they'll order something else.
Yeah, you can order 2, 3 appetizers, entrees off the kids menu, 2, 3 desserts. You just order. The only bad part is if you eating with your whole group, then you can slow down the process of everybody else, because they do kind of keep you scheduled. Like if everybody's on their main course, they kind of have you on the main course. Or if you got people that's late, you know, and you be ready for your main entree, and they walking in late, they gonna wait to speed them up with their appetizers if everybody still has their appetizers. So you go through the whole situations too. And then sometimes by dessert, because it takes so long, some people are like, okay, I'm done. I don't even need no dessert. We've been sitting here 2 hours, hour and a half. I'm ready to get moving.
Because obviously dinner is a much slower process than going to the buffet where you can just go get it at your leisure. But I think we all enjoyed the dining experience, except for they was all still hungry afterwards.
Okay.
Instead of ordering something else, it's like, it takes long. I'm just gonna go upstairs and get some more pizza or something. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and what let them know that they could order more than one of a dish is because the first night we went to the dining room was the second night of the cruise.
Okay.
And me and Linda went by ourselves, so my mom wasn't feeling well. And we when we I ordered 2 entrees, and Linda was like, "Oh, you can do that?" I was like, "Oh, I thought I told you. I'm sorry." She was like, and then when they came small, she was like, "Oh, I see why you ordered 2." I was like, "Yeah, because you order, let's say a sushi roll or whatever. It's really just a roll. It's like maybe 2 cuts or something."
Yeah.
But then it was good. They all really enjoyed it, and that was pretty much my main goal, is to introduce them to cruise life, and now they understand why I like to go on cruises, and now they like, okay, when we booking the next one.
And since you guys were on the fun ship, how did they like the dining experience as far as the entertainment in the main dining hall?
The first night Linda got to see that, but the second night, I don't know if we came too late or we left too early, but my mom and stepdad didn't get to see it. But Linda was into it. She was clapping her hands and rocking with them. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so they enjoyed themselves.
So that's a good thing too about like Carnival's dinner, because you're in there. Some people can be a little uptight, but that just kind of breaks the ice or makes it feel a little bit more relaxing when they have the wait staff to come around and entertain and standing on top of the tables, and folks got their napkins going, or they're inviting you to get up and dance with them. So it's always good to have like a seat that's like in the main like open area, because if you're off, sometimes they have like other rooms and then like you can't see what's going on when they really perform. They may have your wait staff like perform right there in front of you, but it's a lot better when you're like out in the middle or along the sides or upstairs, you can look down and see them on the steps and all that type of stuff. Yeah, really fun time.
Yeah, well, one thing I really like about Royal Caribbean as opposed to Carnival with the dining experience is that Royal Caribbean try to keep your wait staff with you the entire week. So, we didn't sit at the same table, we pretty much sat in the same area the entire week we were there, and the guys came over and talked to us or whatever, and for my birthday, they actually came out and sang happy birthday. You get dessert anyway, but they gave me, specialized dessert or whatever. What I didn't like about Carnival is that the wait staff is different every night. It's all about where there's an availability. And then they didn't honor my birthday.
They did who?
They did not honor my birthday.
Oh, they didn't?
No, but they honored everybody else's birthday. So we sitting there like, are they really not going?
Did you let them know in advance?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know sometimes it depends on how early you let them know whether they fit it in or not. And did you guys have your time dining, or did you have like early?
We had your time.
Oh, see, that's one thing, you got to pick early or late dining, because if you pick your time, they'll move you around to. I'm talking about as far as like the different ways. That's why I tell people, if you get if you get on the early or late, you'll get that same wait stop, so that's staff. So then that way too, if you order like a bottle of wine, it'll be a lot easier, because some people like to drink their wine through the whole cruise. But if you do the your time or my time, I forget, it's called different things for different ships.
My time.
So with that one, they will seat you like wherever throughout the cruise. And they didn't honor your birthday.
And it kind of upset me a little bit. So when I did the after cruise survey, I did let them know in the survey. I'm like, that's not cool. I still haven't heard back from that, but I probably won't, and I'm not gonna hold my breath waiting for it.
What about your like steward or stewardess? Oh, cause see, normally they're really good too. If you let them know it's your birthday or anniversary, they'll oftentimes put a little card in your room too. I've had like $50 spa cards or $50 Carnival gift card to use on the ship during the duration of the cruise. So it's important to let them know that early, and if you don't get it, to be trying to let guest services know, like, what?
Yeah, and I definitely let them know when I booked it, because they have it on, when you book online, they have a place where they ask you, are you celebrating anything special? You check off your birthday, you enter the date or whatever. And then when I had to call them about some things, I also told them then. So I don't know what happened, but I was like, I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to let it ruin my trip or whatever. I didn't even think about going to guest services like you said, but that's definitely something, if I ever do go on Royal Caribbean during my birthday, again, I'll keep that in mind.
Or Carnival.
Carnival. Royal Caribbean, on the other hand, they did more than what I was expecting.
What did they do?
I was just expecting them to like sing at dinner, which they did.
Uh-huh.
But they put this whole decal on my door.
Wow.
This because it was going to Mexico. It said Feliz Cumpleaños, and when we walked up to our room, we was like, "Are we at the right room? Oh, it says Happy Birthday." So we was surprised by that, and then when we went in the room, you know, instead of having a towel animal that day, we had a birthday cake made out of towels.
Wow.
So it was nice.
So
it made
Royal
you feel,
Caribbean show Carnival up a little bit
Yeah.
with that side of it. Okay.
yeah, it made you feel a little warm inside. You're like, oh, somebody cared.
Yeah, you want to feel special when you're
Right.
traveling.
And then, like you said, they gave me a voucher for casino play
Okay.
for my birthday. So, and that was above and beyond the onboard credit we already had.
Wow. Okay.
But one thing I forgot about on this cruise was that when I booked, they gave me a $25 onboard credit.
Okay.
So me and Linda went to the kiosk to check our balance, you know, make sure we was okay or whatever. And she was like, "What's this $12.50 right here?" So I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, that's that $25."
Oh, they had you guys
Yeah.
split. Okay.
But then they gave us some other weird credit that was like $9 and some odd cents. So we was like, okay, well, I don't know what that is. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna take it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you definitely have to be careful with that sign and sell card.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful. Watch
Yeah.
that card, especially if you got your credit card attached to it.
Mhm.
Cash, you might be okay because you know you can
Yeah,
only go so far. But
right. But one thing I tell people when you plan a cruise, have a budget set in mind of how much you want to spend
Mhm.
on that ship or on that cruise. My budget for this cruise, I said I was being a little bit more ambitious. I was like, it's my birthday. I might want to enjoy it a little bit more. So I'm gonna set a $250 budget, and I literally was like $2 off from that budget.
Okay, that was for your full duration.
Mhm.
Okay, and how many days was your cruise?
It was 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you know they don't count the day you getting off. So
Yeah. And that was your on-ship budget and off-ship budget that you had set?
that was just my on-ship budget. I really didn't have a budget for off-ship.
Oh, he didn't have no budget for off-ship. He was trying to live his best life for his birthday.
But but honestly, off-ship we didn't really do much.
Okay.
You know, anything that we did, well, the only thing I spent off-ship was in Catalina Island.
Okay.
So we cruised out of Long Beach. We went to Catalina Island the first. That we left on Monday. We went to Catalina Island on Tuesday, and then we went to Ensenada on Wednesday, and then Thursday was the day at sea.
Okay.
But if you look at the map, you realize just how close everything is to LA.
Okay.
So we really didn't go that far. So we really spent a lot of time just kind of like out in the middle of the ocean.
Oh. Okay.
And then when we left Ensenada, instead of heading back to towards Long Beach like most ships do, we actually headed further down south, and then turned around and came back.
Okay.
So yeah, that was like real interesting to me.